So I copied and pasted the Snorlax picture from Google Images, and I'm going to move it into the corner of my canvas so I've got a bit of space to work in. The reason I've got it is so that I can match up the shapes and essentially trace with it to make my 3D model as accurate as possible. I'm going to start by clicking on 3D shapes, and I need to trace the shape of the body. So I'm using 3D Doodle in the curve shape tool. If I click on the edge of the tummy here, and then I'm just going to draw around the entire body. I'm going to have to use my imagination a bit and imagine the head isn't there. So of course there is body behind that. Just drawing around the body, not drawing around the features like the head and the arms and the feet. Those we're going to add as separate shapes later. Drawing all the way around until the lines are ready to connect. And when they are, I'm going to click and connect both of them inside the white circle. And that should make a 3D shape for me, a custom made one in the shape of the body. I've got it there, I dragged it over to the side. Now I need to swab the colour of the Snorlax's body and paste it onto my new 3D shape. I can use this tool here to zoom in and out. And I'm going to use the same 3D Doodle tool in the curve shape to draw all the way around the Snorlax's feet. I'm not doing the nails, that's something I will do later. I curve all the way around and I can connect the lines again inside the white circle. Okay, now drag it and connect it to the Snorlax's body. I can rotate it to see what it looks like from different angles. Now the colour didn't look right, so I've clicked on the shape, clicked on the swab tool, and I'm going to swab the colour of the Snorlax's foot, and that will change the colour of it on my 3D model. I'm going to click copy, right click, paste. And that will make me another foot. I'm going to drag that over, but oh no, it's facing the wrong way. So I'm going to use this button here, which will flip it, and it creates a mirror image. So now it's facing the correct way, and I can place it properly on my Snorlax body. If I click 3D view, often that helps to center your view so you can see it a little bit better. I'm rotating it, see it from different angles, making sure it's all linked up. 3D view again to center my view. Okay, I've gone to 2D shapes and I picked the circle shape because I need to do those little brown pads on the Snorlax's feet. And I'm going to trace over with the circle shape. I'm going to use this rotate button to match it up a little bit more. And I can use the little white squares, move it a little bit, then use the little white squares to adjust the size and length and width of my circle. And then I'm going to drag that shape I've just made over onto my 3D model. Match it up. Click the stamp button, that'll stamp it on. Adjust the thickness of that line a little bit. Okay, now I can click the stamp button. That's stamped it onto my 3D model. I've also got another one. And I'm going to drag it over, but no, it's not facing the right way. So I'm going to use the flip tool again, the flip button. Now that's good. And drag it over to the right side of the 3D model. I'm going to click on brushes. And I'm going to click on the bucket tool and the colour swab tool. And I'm going to swab the colour of the pads on the Snorlax's foot so that I have the same one, same colour on my 3D model. And I'm going to colour it in like that. It's like pasting. Now I'm using the 3D doodle tool again to draw all the way around my arm because that's a bit of a strange 3D shape. I'm drawing around it, and then I'm connected the two lines inside the white circle again, zooming out so I can see more. If I drag it over, it's not quite in the right place. I have to adjust that. But first of all, I'll adjust the colour. Use the swabbing tool, swab the colour of the Snorlax's body, and paste that onto the arm. Zoom out a bit. I've dragged it over to where I want to be, but it's too far back, so I'm going to drag it forward. That wasn't right. Drag it forward again and fit it to the body of my Snorlax. I've used those little toggles to thicken the shape. I didn't think it was quite broad enough. Rotate it backwards and forwards, check it's looking good. Copy, right click, paste. So now I should have two arms, and I'll click the flip tool again and move that arm to the other side of the Snorlax's body. And I'm just going to swivel my view so I can see it from all different angles, and I can check that I've fitted it to the body properly and also that it looks symmetrical. Not quite yet. A little bit further in. Okay, so now I'm using the 3D doodle again to trace the shape of the head. I'm going to connect these two lines inside the white circle, and that should make a custom 3D shape for me again. Okay, right shape, wrong colour. I'm going to drag it over. Oh no, it doesn't quite fit. So I dragged it forward so it's stuck to the Snorlax's body and trying to put it, I think it's quite far forward, the Snorlax's head. That's where I'm putting it. I'm editing the colour, and I'm going to make it the same colour as the rest of the Snorlax's body. Okay, it's time to do the Snorlax's ears. I'm going to use the 3D doodle tool, really is my favourite. I'm going to draw around the shape of the ear. And then I'm going to place that on top of the Snorlax's head. And adjust it until I think I've got it in just the right place. Change the colour so it matches the rest of the body. And copy, paste, and rotate it with that flip tool so it's facing the right way, and put it on the other side. Now I'm looking to do the shape of the Snorlax's tummy, so I went to 2D shapes and I chose the circle tool, and I'm now adjusting it so it's the right shape. I use these toggles, squares at the side to get it as close as possible. When I've got it right, I can move it onto my 3D model. Now I think its tummy is tucked under its chin, so I'm going to drag mine up a little bit more. A bit more. Now I'm going to swab the colour of the Snorlax's tummy so it matches the original image. I think its head is a little bit further forward, so I'm going to adjust that again. It's all about making little observations and adjustments as you go. I'm going to zoom in on the toenails because that's next, and I could have used the cone 3D tool, but I chose to use the doodle tool to draw around. Now I'm just fitting it to his feet. I'm going to edit the colour and swab the actual colour of the toenails. And copy, right click paste. There's another one, another shape that's exactly the same. I'm going to rotate and adjust and drag where that's meant to be. I think he's got 3 toenails on his feet, so I'm going to do 3 of those, copying and pasting as I go. I'm going to drag and rotate them. Oh, we've got a bit of a hangnail going on. That is not what we want. I'm going to rotate it and drag it into the right place. Poor Snorlax. I don't want to do those toenails all over again, so I'm going to do a thing called grouping. Select all the shapes, select multi-select, and then click them all. Copy, and we're going to get rid of this. And I'm going to click copy, and then I'm going to click paste. And I've got to rotate that and put that there. Zoom in and out. I'm going to rotate so I can see it from lots of different angles. So to group that, before I copied and pasted it, I clicked on it, and then I clicked multi-select, and then I also highlighted all of the toenails as well. So, and then I clicked group, and grouping them makes them one shape, which means if you move them around, they're not going to get all jumbled up. They will move together. They are one big shape, which meant that I could just click copy once and copy the whole thing, the feet with the toenails and everything, and just drag that over. Time to do his face. So I'm going to click on 2D shapes. I'm going to click on circle, and I'm going to adjust this 2D circle here so it fits. It's about the right size, about the same size as the circle on his face. I'm going to have to ignore the V at the top of his face right now. That's something we're going to sort out later. Take the circle and put it on the 3D model. There we go, stamp it so it stays there. And now I'm going to pick in 2D shapes the straight line. I'm going to draw a straight line. 1. And click stamp. Then click the flip tool, so it's going in the other direction. Drag it to make a V shape. Now I need to adjust the colour of his face, which is the same colour as his tummy. So I'm going to swap the face or tummy from the original image using the bucket tool and then fill it in like that. Then I'm going to use the eraser tool, which is the rubber, in the brushes section, and I'm going to rub out this line here. I'll zoom in so I can see better, rubbing it out. About the other side as well. Good, and I rubbed out some of the line accidentally, so I guess I can use the pen tool to fill that in. There we go, and zoom back out. Now I need to do his eyes. And his eyes are just slightly curved lines. I'm going to go into 2D shapes, pick the curved line and stretch it to the length of his eye, but the curve is facing the wrong way. So I'm going to use the circle in the middle to adjust the direction of the curve. And then I'm going to move that over onto my 3D object. Get it in the right place. Click stamp. That means I can use it again. Flip it. Put it on the other side of the Snorlax's face so he has 2 eyes instead of just 1. Now I think I'm going to use this same line to make his mouth after I've stamped it. Yeah, use the same line to make his mouth. It looks like he's smirking. I kind of like that, so I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to use the brushes in the brushes tab, and I'm just going to draw on some teeth using the pen tool. So click on brushes, click on the pen. You could just pick the colour white, or you could swap the actual colour of the teeth, up to you, and draw them on. Little triangles. I made the whole face white. Undo that. Just drawing the teeth in white. Now, let's have a close look at our 3D model so far. What else needs doing? Are we missing anything? Yeah, we need toenails, but I grouped this object. So I'm going to click on it, I'm going to click ungroup. And that means that I can click on the toenails as individual shapes. Click copy, click paste. And drag it to where it needs to be. I can use this rotate tool to make sure it's facing the right way. And I've counted 5 fingernails on the Snorlax's hands. So I'm going to have to copy and paste this at some point and make 5 of them. If you got the gist of this, you can probably skip through to when I'm finished doing the fingernails on this hand. That's 4. How many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, last one. Got to use the rotate button. Now swivel it to make sure it's in the right place. A little bit too high, so I'm going to move it down. Great, and I cannot be bothered to draw all of those fingernails again, so I'm going to group this object. I'm going to multi-select, and I'm going to select all of these fingernails. Do it again. Select all of the fingernails. Now I'm going to click group, and then I should be able to right-click copy, right-click paste, delete the other arm, right-click paste, click the flip tool so it's facing the other way, then put it on the other side of the Snorlax's body. And that is my Snorlax. Woo! Definitely all of you send me a screenshot of your finished 3D model here on 3D Paint and upload that to Seesaw. And if you want to, which you should, save a copy of your 3D model. I'll show you how to do that now. You have to group this whole shape. So click the body, then click multi-select, and then click all of the shapes. And when you've finished clicking all of the shapes, or just dragged your mouse over all of the shapes, click group. Now it's one big 3D model. And to save it, you're going to go to Menu. After you've covered this up. And drag this into the middle. Drag your 3D model into middle, click Menu, click Save As, click 3D Model. Now, even if you do that, remember to send me a screenshot of your work. Click Save.